Hello and welcome to my YouTube. Let's see here. So I'm currently just I almost thought the bee was in my house. Anyway, I'm just here making a pathway to land. So yesterday was pretty eventful. It was the last day of school for the high schoolers. And my high school French teacher just had her last day. So I got like a bunch of her stuff. And then she just threw away the rest of it. Like, I feel like a lot of that she probably could have taken to, like... She probably could have donated it, but I mean, honestly, she didn't have much room in her car after taking the stuff she did decide to keep. And honestly, a lot of the stuff I took, I might not keep either. But if it's small enough, I will scan it and put it on my language library. I think I've got a couple of maps and stuff that just take one picture and maybe see if the backside has anything on it, and then it's all good. Plus one of the posters I have. Actually, I could probably take one of the map that I have that's hanging on my wall right now. And I got this cloth map that is actually gigantic, so I was like, I was gonna hang it up. But it's so big, I'm like, I think I'm gonna ask my grandma to make a quilt out of it. It's got like all the coats of arms for different departments. One of the posters I ended up just throwing away because it had a hole in it, and I was like, you know what? It's all ripped up. I'm thinking that with how many books I have, I need to start like an actual, like, lending library thing instead of just trying to scan everything. Especially now that there isn't going to be a French class at the school. Like, you're going to need... Like, it's all online. It's going to be online because there's no French teacher anymore. So I might do something about that. Okay, today I have migraine, so I went to get some ibuprofen from my backpack. The ibuprofen, because it was like liquid gels, like capsule kind of things, they melted together. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's a good thing I got a relatively small one, or else I would have been totally screwed. I'd be like, I just bought way too much ibuprofen, and it's all useless because they melted. But no, it was like the normal size. So I was like, you know what? I don't take this enough to really necessitate having 500 capsules of ibuprofen like some people seem to take. So I got like, I don't even know how many was in there, but they all melted together because I think at one point I had my backpack in my car. And it must have gotten really hot because why else would they have melted? My god. So I guess I'll be stuck using acetaminophen. Because I think we're almost out of I'll leave. I think there was like 2 or 3 tablets in there. We do have a bunch of acetaminophen, but I feel like acetaminophen doesn't work on me. Like I think it might work if I use both it and the Aleve. It seems like the stuff that they use that is advertised as being specifically for migraines, they put caffeine in it. I'm like, I don't want to. And it's like 60 milligrams of caffeine too, so it's like. I don't want to shit myself just to stop having a migraine. Of course, I wouldn't have to worry about that if I took if I refilled my prescription ibuprofen, because that's like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. And it's 1 tablet, so I mean, I found out that I could take half of it and not, at one time, and not have my IBS flare up. But they're so thick that I can't really cut it. So when I had my prescription ibuprofen, I would bite it. I would bite it in half and then put the other half back. But I like the liquid gels because they're supposed to work faster. I can't remember, I think the ones that I had that just melted might have been solubilized, so they're supposed to work even faster than normal anyway. I don't know why I didn't just grab the dirt that was there. I could probably have used the copper too. And then I'd have a reason to have the wax. Yeah, so now I got a butt ton of books, and I don't know where I'm gonna put them. And my mom made this whole thing about, you know, your sister's coming back from Spain in July. I'm like, yes, I know. I already put some of them, my English language books, the literal just regular books in English. I think I put most of them back in the closet. But when my sister comes back, she uses the closet for her clothes, so I might have to maybe just get rid of all the books that I'm not going to use. Like, I think I'm going to read a bunch of the books that I got, but I think at some point I'm going to I'm probably going to give them away or something. Or maybe I'll start like a GoFundMe and be like, help me find a place to rent out so that I can have like a library. I think I remember hearing something about like if you have a certain amount of books, you are technically a library. Like, obviously I wouldn't be one of those, like, I know some of those things they've got like, well, they treat it like it's like a government thing. So it was like I think I was thinking the same thing about like having like a wildlife rehabilitation center or like a pound that's like not tied to the government, but I feel like a lot of those things are like have to be tied to the government. You know, there's a pound that's like a couple miles from us. They only take things that are within the town limits of like 3 of the nearby towns. And if it's not there, then you have to drive 20 miles away to the county one. I'm like, it would be so much easier if somebody made a pound where it doesn't matter where you got the damn animal. You just bring it to the pound. Like, honestly, it would be a lot easier if they changed the districting laws or whatever, so that it was like, okay, whichever one is closest is where you take the animal, not whichever one is for the county, because, you know, if you're on the outskirts of the county like we are. Actually, that's not even true, because the one that takes the stuff that's in town, one of the towns is in a different county, but they'll still take those animals. But I guess if they're in the country, even if they happen to be technically closer to the one that is by where we live, which is like, it's weird because the town next to us that's in a different county, we live right by that town. And if you find an animal on the outskirts of that town, which happens to be, even if it's the part of the outside of town that's closer to the pound that's in my town, if you find it in the country, you gotta go even farther away, because I think the next county over is bigger than the county we're in. But they gotta go. To the pound in the center of their county. Even though they're closer to the pound in our town. That won't take... I think they took one animal from us. So I was thinking, what if we just lie and say we found it in town? But I guess because they have our information, they'd be like, you're lying. But like, what if you lived in the country, but you did find the animal in the middle of town? They'd just be like, oh, well, you don't live in town, so you gotta go all the way to 20 miles away. It's like, I get why it's there, because it's the center of the county, and if you're gonna make everybody from all the counties, from the whole entire county go there, then I mean, I guess you're gonna put it in the center, so that everybody can get there, but like, why don't you just put it, like, if you're gonna have pounds in every town, it shouldn't be just for within the city limits, it should be for... They should just have it for each town, and then it wouldn't matter where you put it, and then maybe they wouldn't even get full. Like, just put a pound in each town. Like, it seems like so easy to me. Just put a pound in each town, and whatever, and if you find an animal, put it in the pound that's closest to you. And if it's in each town, it should be... It's most likely going to be the town that you're actually in. Yeah, so that's the one thing that I'm like... Sometimes the libraries are attached to the government, the pounds are attached to the government, and they got, you know, it's all this weird bureaucracy. And I'm like, is there... Am I wrong in that you can actually have those things outside of the government? Again, I think our Wildlife Rehabilitation Center is part of the government too. I think that's technically in the center of the county. Or it's closer to the center of the county than anything else, but it's like... Actually, I think my main problem with the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center is that it has a 9 to 5 hours kind of thing. You're like, it may tell you not to feed or give water to the animals that you find. But I feel like that's kind of hard to do when, you know, especially if you find something like at 5 o'clock. And you've got to wait until whatever time the next morning to actually bring the animal in, and you're like, yeah, we're just gonna like starve this animal and leave it gravely injured until we can get to the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center while it's open. Like, honestly, I feel like the Wildlife Rehabilitation Centers need to be where the most wild animals are being found injured, I guess. Because I don't know if where they are is actually where most of the wild animals... It's closest to where most of the wild animals are found injured, but... Yeah, I feel like they need to have at least, like, extended hours. But I mean, I guess if they... Maybe they can't because nobody will do it, but... I feel like if they could find at least one person to do it, they could have one person that's like an on-call that can actually like open the facilities to like help. God damn it, I used all my rocks! Yeah, anyways, as I was saying with the library thing. I think I have enough to... I remember how much, I feel like it was supposed to be 100 or 1,000. I mean, I don't even have the room for... Honestly, I don't really have the room for 100 books, but... For 100 books, much less 1,000, but... And then I wouldn't know where to... If I were to rent out a place to put a quote-unquote library. I don't know where I'd do that, because I can think of one place that they need to have something put there. But it's way too big for that. And then I don't even know. Honestly, look, because of how big it is, it's probably pretty expensive too, but... I mean, you'd think that with how long it's been empty, that whoever owns the place would be willing to sell it for cheaper, or lease it for cheaper. But it seems like they would rather it be empty. Seems to be the problem is that people would rather have. Oh my god, those are pillagers. What the? Yeah, I personally think it's annoying that they would rather like. Why even have a building there if it would be easier to have it empty than filled, no matter what price you put it at. Like, I feel like at some point you gotta cut your losses. Oh yeah, and the people that own it, their phone number's Sacramento. I'm like, why would... Maybe it's just an old phone number that they just haven't gotten themselves a local phone number, but come on, like... If I can get them to fall into the thingy, that would be nice.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Yeah, they can swim. How nice. I'm trying to think if there is another place that's smaller in town that can be leased. Because I feel like the only ones I can think of, I'm pretty sure have stuff there now. I think one that was on lease is now a Togo's. They've even building new buildings now, too. Like, there's a third Starbucks. Which is, like, the only thing on that side of town. Besides, like, a Mexican market that the high schoolers like to use to get burritos and stuff. Like, there were, like, no restaurants except for, I think there's Domino's. But all the fast food restaurants are, like, on the other side of town. But I feel like it's gotta be pretty annoying for the high schoolers, because they have to literally drive to the other side of town to get what they want. You know, if they want to get McDonald's or Jack in the Box or something, it's... Yeah, we got a McDonald's, a Jack in the Box, a Wendy's, a Burger King, a Carl's Jr. And they're all on one side of town. I mean, if the junior high was open, like open campus for lunch, it would make sense to have it would make sense if they have all these restaurants over there. But they're not. In fact, you can't even hang out in a classroom in the frickin' junior high during lunch. They literally restrict you to a certain area of the school. At least they did when I was there. I'm like, why are all the fast food restaurants over here? And their best business is probably the high schoolers during their lunch 45 minutes. And you're just... you're on the other side of the town. You're on the other side of town. Like, it's not a big town, but come on. So yeah, now everybody that wants to go somewhere, they go to the gas station. Because the gas station has like a miniature 7-Eleven associated thing with it. Like, it's got like Slurpees and stuff that they say are like 7-Eleven. There is also a 7-Eleven over on that side of town, but I think it is actually further away from... But yeah, there's like a drive-in restaurant, like a 50s style thing. It's literally like right across the street. We got... yeah, I think it's either Rite Aid or Walgreens. I think it's Walgreens. Like right there. We've got a gas station with a little 7-Eleven section. Across the street on another street. There's like a bunch of different... we're like the high school is like a road away from the main road. There's a bunch of side streets going from the road that the high school is on to the main road. And we've got the gas station, and the gas station with the 7-Eleven thing is down one of the side streets, on the corner of the side street and the main road. The drive-in thing's the same way on a different side street. And see, the Walgreens is across the street on the main street. So you gotta cross the main street to get there. There's also a 7-Eleven across the street on the main street. But that's like way down the street. There's also another gas station. It's not across the street, but it's on a side street. That's way down the road too, and the Domino's is on the main street. That's way down the road. Let's see. The Mexican store is across the street and catty corner from the drive-in. And the gas station is way down the road. Has a taco truck next to it that hangs out over there. I think there is another gas station down the road the other way from... It's just like a line of gas stations, I guess. Yeah, I think most of the people, like, if they want to get... If they want to get lunch at a restaurant, they have to drive. Part of me wonders if I could do like a Google Classroom, but I feel like the Google Classroom thing, you have to be through a school. And even if I did do a Google Classroom, pretty sure you gotta pay for that. Which is probably why it's mostly just schools that do it. I also need to get a scanner, like a proper scanner for like the books. So it would be a lot faster and probably a lot better quality than using my phone to take a series of pictures. Especially when the technical limit for that kind of stuff is on the Microsoft Lens is like 30 pages. I mean, you can do more. Then if I go beyond that, then it'll be sent to... I'll have to send it to my language library email via iCloud. The one thing that's good is that now that I have a Google Drive for my library, I can just download it everything onto the drive instead of having to save it to my computer and then download it. Like I did when I put the PDFs straight onto the website. Another part of me was thinking about using... There's a garage next to the house, but... that is, like, chock full of stuff. And there's a lawnmower in the way. See, and there's a trailer on our yard that I thought about using, but that's falling apart, and everybody's just kind of waiting for my dad to actually get rid of it. Although he's waiting for his mom, because she has the pink slip to the trailer. But my dad was also thinking about just leaving the, like, getting rid of the trailer part and leaving the, like, bottom, like the frame, to use it. It's like, I guess, like a flatbed trailer or something. I don't know. But he hasn't done that either. But honestly, he's got a lot of stuff that he should probably be doing, which is probably why he's not doing anything. Because that's probably where I got the whole I'm overwhelmed, I'll do nothing thing. Both my parents, honestly. And yet they judge me for it. I'm like, you know... You've probably subconsciously been teaching me that this whole time. To do it that way. To be that way, you know? It's like, look at our house. Look at that trailer. Look at the laundry room that my dad was going to put a bathroom in. So that we would have 2 bathrooms instead of praying to God nobody's in the bathroom when we have an emergency. When we're having an intestinal emergency or something, we're like, oh no, we're gonna die, we're gonna piss ourselves or something. Noise. I just put a new battery in this mouse, and I swear sometimes it still is being all weird. It's not like I'm not using it, like I'm using it this whole time. Like it's working to make my player face different directions, but if you don't click, it's like, oh no! God, I hate it when that happens. It's funny, I think I spent a lot more time in the living room than I usually do, because I was avoiding the mess that is my room with all the books that I have right now. Although I will say I am kind of proud of myself that I did put some books away. Although I feel like some of those books I might still record audio for. There's one that was interesting, it's Civil War Ghost Stories. I also have a Mice and Men on my desk right now that I think I did. I recorded like a chapter of it, and then I ended up deleting it because I didn't like. Actually, I don't even think I got through the whole chapter because I think I messed up on one of the lines. I was trying to give the characters different voices. And it's kind of hard to not give them different voices anyway because they're not speaking proper English. I think at one point I was giving George like a New Yorker accent. And then Lenny sounded like Patrick. And that was just the 2 characters in the beginning. And I was going to donate it, you know, after I was done. Because I hadn't written in it, but now I've written in it so that I know who's speaking. So that I can do the right voice. Which means I might have to skim through the whole book just to make sure I'm getting the speakers correct. And I don't know what I'm going to do with some of those voices, because... I mean, George and Lenny is one thing, but then you got Curly and his wife, and the old guy with the dog, and... Oh yeah, I just ate turnips for like the first time ever today. I made them pretty good. I roasted them in the oven with some oil and some salt and pepper and some sage and rosemary, and then my mom had opened a thing of chicken broth to like drink. Bone broth. And so I ended up putting that in there towards the end and then kind of letting it sit in the oven for a second to like boil off some of the liquid. And then when it was done, I put butter on it. And it tasted pretty good, although I have to remember, the next time I get turnips, I'm gonna peel them a little more than I did, because the outside, you know, like the pieces that were closer to the skin were hard. So I might just cut off the outer parts and just not use the outer parts. So I just get the inside parts. I think the parts that were hard were the parts that had been the originally white. So, you know, kind of hard to tell whether you still have the skin on it or not. Because it's the same color as the inside. The purple parts were easy because you peel it off and it's only stark white inside. And they tasted pretty good. I think they're supposed to be related to cauliflower and cabbage and stuff. I think that is pretty much what they reminded me of, was like the flavor wise. It was something like that. And some people, I guess, they actually mash them like potatoes. Which sounds like a good alternative, because I think when my dad was reading this book about like foods you should avoid and foods that are good, and it was like turnips and rutabagas were good, and I guess sweet potatoes were supposed to be good too, but regular potatoes were like, avoid them. So I guess if you want to avoid potatoes, you could hypothetically use turnips. And I mean, I guess probably rutabagas and stuff, all the other root vegetables. Oh yeah, they're supposed to be related to radishes too. When I peeled it, it smells kind of like horseradish. I was like, oh my god. Like, I love horseradish, so it didn't taste like horseradish though, so it's like, it would have been good if it tasted like horseradish. I guess you could also eat them raw. Never really thought about eating them raw. Kind of like how I never thought about. They also said jicama was supposed to be good, and I never thought about cooking jicama. It's like, never thought about cooking jicama, and never thought about eating turnips raw. I didn't try it raw though, so I don't know. They got a thing of jicama in there. That was okay. I think the parts that were closer to the outside were kind of bad because I didn't skin them enough. The jicama, the peel is so rough you can't actually peel it with like a potato peeler. Or at least it was hard. I don't even think I was able to. Like, it was like the wrong shape for peeling. I believe the shape you would call it is oblate. Kind of look like a slightly rounder UFO. It looks like my father's back on the carnivore diet thing. He was watching a video today about the carnivore diet. I'm like, I mean, they watch a lot of videos about the things you should eat and things you shouldn't eat, but at the end of the day, they will go out to eat. Like, they had burritos yesterday. Yeah, when I got home, they made a whole point of saying that I missed a text that they sent me. You're like, yeah, you snooze, you lose. You don't get any food if you don't answer your texts. Because I guess they assume I'm like that stereotypical teenager that's addicted to my phone. I've always got it in my face or some shit. I'm like, if I'm addicted to my phone, it's because I am so paranoid that some shit like that's gonna happen and I'm gonna miss it. And obviously I'm right to think so, because I looked at my phone at 4 o'clock, didn't see any texts from them, so didn't think anything of it. I guess it was 8 minutes later she texted me. And because I didn't answer, she didn't give me a burrito. And it's not like she doesn't know that I would eat like what I would get. I guess she was like afraid that I was afraid that I'd get my own food, and then, oh, now I bought a burrito and she's not gonna eat it. Like, I am so paranoid about missing out on food that if you ask me if I want food, I will say yes. Even if I just ate, even if I'm like Honestly, even if I'm not hungry, I'll probably still say yes. Because I'm so paranoid about missing out on food. And I guess I've got a reason to be, because if I miss out on food, I won't hear the end of it. And I was honestly so upset that I missed out on food that I cried. Which is kind of lame of me to even want to admit, but I'm like... Probably had... I mean, there's probably more than just that, but... I also think it was, I had such a good time hanging out with my high school French teacher. She was telling me, she was saying, you know, you're like the smartest student I've ever had, and you know, thank you for helping, and she gave me some of her lunch, and all that kind of stuff. And then I'd get home, and it's, oh, you didn't see your text, and you didn't get any food, snooze you lose. They left me 3 chips. It's like, because I ended up staying in my room while they were eating their burritos, because I was like, I don't want to do it, well, because I was crying, and I didn't want to show them I was crying over a fucking burrito. But also because I just didn't want to see them eating burritos when I know, oh, I missed that text by like 8 minutes, and I guess I should have looked at my phone while I was at the gas station, because I probably would have seen the text if I looked at my notifications when I was at the gas station. But yeah, I'm like, no wonder we're all fat. It's like, you wonder why I'm fat, why I eat so much, why I eat so fast, whatever the fuck. It's because of this whole snooze you lose thing, where you have to eat quickly, or you'll get nothing because they will eat it all. I think it's happened a few times where it was like they ate something really quickly. Like, I think one time it was like the Oreo fudge creams or whatever. And I don't know if I just didn't see them or if they got them, like, and they ate them so quickly, but, they finished it off. It's like, oh my god, I wanted some of those. They're like, snooze you lose. And then I think those got discontinued or something, so it's like, well, I guess I'll never have those. Yeah, I think the next time they say something like that, I'm going to be like, this is why we're all fat. Because you eat that shit so fast. And now I've got a complex. I'm gonna miss out on food if I'm not addicted to my phone. But they did get Oreos, and they hadn't eaten all of those, so I did. I don't even think I can say I made up for it by eating the Oreos, because there's like 4 lines, and I think 2 of them were already gone. So, I mean, if we're going like a line per person, I didn't take a whole line of Oreos, so. So I can't even see I made up for the lack of burrito with Oreos. Well, I probably could have and said, yeah, well, I'm making up for my lack of burrito that, I mean, you know what I would have gotten. I probably should have said that. It's like, I will never deny food when you ask. Like, you don't even have to ask me if I want food. I want food. I got like FOMO about food because of their attitude about food, which has screwed my sister over a couple of times. Because I know there were a couple of times where she made something. Actually, I don't know if it was. And then she got mad because I ate it or something. I mean, yeah, I have FOMO about food. So if it's there, I'm gonna freak out and be like, it's been there for so long. I'm afraid that somebody's gonna eat it all, and I'm gonna have nothing, and then it's never gonna happen again. Which I thought I'd gotten a little better about. I mean, I have in terms of my sister's food. Like, I don't go around eating my sister's food like that anymore, but of course I can't because she's in Spain right now, so it's not like she has any food here. But I thought I was getting better about the food thing. Or obviously to some extent I'm not, because I literally cried about a burrito. It was probably not just about the burrito. I think I was just kind of stressed out, and the whole 180 from being praised to being mocked was not pleasant. Yeah, I'm glad I stayed in my room when they were eating their burritos, because when I finally came out, they're like, haha, we left you some chips, and it's like 3 chips on a paper towel. It's like, oh, thank you, I guess? Because if I had gone back there, and they're like, haha, we left you 3 chips, I probably would have burst into tears again. But I waited until I calmed down to even go into the kitchen again. And then I made some pasta, and it was good pasta. That was like hours later, though. But it was good pasta. And it's like, this is better than a burrito. But yeah, after this last fiasco, oh god. There's a bee stuck in my boat. That shouldn't even be possible. Dude, it's nighttime. Go back to your nest. What the fuck? It's nighttime. What are you talking about? Well, it's been over an hour, so I guess I'll end the video here. Thank you for watching. Bye.